makes a huge impact on me because it just makes me believe that there's still good people in the world.
And yet also managing to be like this most fabulous creature you've ever seen.
He's just so unapologetically himself. I find it really inspiring to see that.
And if he believes in it and he feels true about it, he will fight to the end. And I think that is an amazing quality to have in somebody.
There are some very innate qualities with him that I rarely see in people.
He's just present in a way that not many people are.
We at Foreo know that Pride is not just celebrated during the month of June. The fight for what's right is not just temporary, but a continuous journey. Our community has been, is, and always will be inclusive. It's our responsibility to amplify gender and race equality, not just internally within our company, but also publicly to our extended Foreo family. In order to change how people see things, we have to change how they talk about them. And talk we shall. Remember, our voices are not canceled. Stand with us, and together, let's make a difference.
You cannot cancel something that we are living and celebrating every day. As the fight continues daily for gender and race equality, we have to remember that pride, love, kindness, and hope are not canceled. On behalf of Foreo, I am so proud to really highlight a story of an amazing individual that really embodies all of those characteristics. Someone who not only lives authentically proud every single day, but truly makes a difference in the world. Marcus Molinari, you are not just a friend, colleague, and activist, but you are somebody that makes this world a better place.
Remember that you're gorgeous and powerful, and you've already did all the hard stuff. And now you're just going to enjoy it, and you're going to inspire, and you're not going to give a fuck what anyone thinks.
I am so honored, and today we stand by you in the fight for gender and race equality, and we want to make a donation on your behalf to the Black Trans Advocacy Coalition. And here are a few other people that share the same sentiment. I guess this justifies that crown you like to wear so much.
I've been really struck by how many layers there are to Marcus. So first of all, you think, oh my God, there goes this most fabulous creature. And then you realize he's deeply talented. He's very well-read. He's incredibly cultured. He's incredibly sensitive. He analyzes all sorts of things, including himself. He's self-aware. He's humble. He's all these things that you know, first off, you see this kind of incredible sparkly handbag and eyebrows and go, wow. And then really has got so much going on. And that's why I think I'm so happy to honor him.
He's like the Pied Piper of an LGBTQ community. Marcus, we all celebrate you. We celebrate the LGBT community. We celebrate Black Lives Matter and Black Trans Lives Matter. There's so much going on in that community that's not being talked about, and I appreciate that you are. And thank you all for supporting such a beautiful charity.
Marcus, you are a feeling and a moment, and a feeling and a moment. When you walked into that Virgin record office with our friend Katie, and you were just so colorful, bro. You've never changed.
Growing up, I've never had very many friends. So for me to even make a new friend is a big deal. And I've always felt like Marcus was always taking care of me and just so sensitive to my needs, always making me feel so comfortable around him and his world and his friends.
Marcus, I love you. You're fabulous. But most importantly, you're an activist. So today we celebrate you and all that you do for the community. Love you.
Well, Marcus Molinari, aka Marsha, he is, I would say, one of my closest friends. We met back in 2007, and we have done everything together. Traveled the world, cried, laughed, fought, you know. He is one of the most iconic and legendary people I know. Has an amazing way of making you feel the most comfortable, and he knows humility, and he just doesn't care. He is his own person, and you either love it or you hate it, but he's never faltered or changed or made excuses. He is who he is, and I totally respect that, and I think that's an amazing quality, and he will, you know, fight for any cause, and if he believes in it and he feels true about it, he will fight to the end. And I think that is an amazing quality to have in somebody, as a friend, as a family member. Respect him, and congratulations, Marcus. I think this is an amazing honor, and we love you.
Hi, I'm Allison, and I have known Marcus for 21 years, which means we were like 4 years old when we met. We were babies. Just kidding. I won't do the math, but we've known each other for more than half our lives. And when we met actually on the set of a movie. We were both extras, and it was just like, I don't know, it was like magnets. We didn't even introduce ourselves. We just started having a conversation. It was like we jumped ahead many, many steps, and we just kind of ended up becoming best friends, and then had to go back and do all the like small talk and where are you from and what's your name and stuff later on. We ended up living together for 3 or 4 years, and it was like the sweetest, best time in my whole life. I will remember that time so fondly, and it has everything to do with knowing Marcus and being around someone who is so creative and open and accepting and curious and interesting and just not stuck. I don't know what the word for that would be, but I would say Marcus is someone who does not get stuck. He is constantly evolving, constantly changing, improving. He's very interested in how to become a better person and how he fits in the world. And I think that's what's so inspiring about him, is that it's like a force. Like when you're around him, you feel like you're around a magnet or something that you kind of want to be stuck to, because he doesn't get stuck to anything. And I'm pretty sure everyone will say the same thing. Anyone you ask who knows Marcus probably thinks of him as being one of their best friends, which is the same for me. And yeah, I feel like he's family. I want to support him and the work he does and the visions he has for all of the social justice and equity that he's involved in with the LGBTQ rights and the Black Lives Matter. Simply because obviously those things are important to all of us, hopefully. But Marcus puts in his whole heart with with all of the causes that he's involved in. His heart, his connections, his ideas, and also Marcus is one of those people who is completely unlike anyone else. He's completely unique. He's representation of how it's possible for all of us to be just who we are, and that's really inspiring. And we need more people out there as the kind of the champion of that idea, fighting for those ideas, fighting for the possibility that we are actually all allowed to be who we are.
I first met Marcus about 15 years ago at a glamorous, star-studded Hollywood party. Where else? The first thing that struck me about Marcus was how he was so unapologetically himself. He wore what he wanted, honey, he said what he meant, and he did it all with style and grace. We spent a lot of time on music video sets and photo shoot sets, and he was always the person that you wanted to have around because he kept morale high, and he has this warmth and authenticity about him that makes everyone feel at ease. Everyone knows that Hollywood can be a pretty superficial, cliquey place, but Marcus is someone you can always count on to be inclusive and sweet and treat everyone like they matter. Marcus has impacted my life in ways he probably doesn't even know. When I was really struggling in the music industry, I felt so small and insecure, and he would literally pull me aside and whisper in my ear like a little angel. And he knew all of the lyrics to all of the songs that nobody else knew. He was so complimentary of my early work, and he was a real cheerleader for me in an otherwise tough crowd, and that means a lot to me. He was chic and connected and had friends in high places, so the fact that he took the time to give me words of encouragement when a lot of other people had written me off really meant a lot to me and helped me get through and get to where I am today. On top of being a quick-witted, brilliant fashion force to be reckoned with, Marcus is a great person with a huge heart that genuinely cares about people, all people. And so I am really happy to be honoring and supporting the causes that Marcus cares so much about, the LGBTQ community, and the Black Lives Matter movement. I love you, Marcus. Keep being real and keep being your fabulous self.
Okay, now, I am so excited to be able to show some love to Marcus today. This is such an honor. I'm so pleased that he's being honored by Foreo for the light that he is. Our journey, our friendship journey started 2 years ago at Davos in Switzerland. We were there for the World Economic Forum, and I was walking around, one of the few Black people there, and certainly the only Black woman who's 6 feet tall, with my afro out, you know, I'm talking about picked out, wearing sequins and shocking people as I sashayed by. Well, it wasn't long before I went to a dinner party, and it felt like the seas opened, and I was like, oh, they're my kinfolk. You know, Marcus was my kinfolk. I could feel it. And I think he felt it too. So our bond was immediate. And it was followed by, of course, Instagram follows and emojis and the yes girls and all of that sort of encouragement throughout our social media. And I'm so honored and pleased to be able to show a little bit more love to him today. You know, the pandemic has been really hard on my spirit. I think it's been hard on all of us. And clearly the racial and social unrest that we're also feeling has left me feeling down, mostly, you know, feeling like, you know, frustration about all that is happening in our world. But there are lights like Marcus who shine. I'll give you even a small example, which really spoke volumes about his character. So about 4 months ago, before we were all shut away in our homes, I saw Marcus at an event for Missoni. I was with my then 10-year-old daughter, and Marcus had these beautiful golden freckles plastered across his gorgeous face. And my daughter took one look and was smitten. She was in love. She was like, I want to be like Marcus. And Marcus, of course, being the sweet soul that he is, remembered that moment. And about 6 weeks ago or so, we were heavily in the pandemic lockdown. Here comes a package from Amazon, which had the golden freckles in it for my daughter. It just brightened up her entire world, and it meant the world to me that he would take a moment to be able to really, you know, show some love in that way. And so I am so honored and pleased that he's getting the love that he deserves and is being shown, especially as he continues to fight for causes which are so important today, the rights of LGBTQ and of course Black Lives Matter. I am extraordinarily proud of the work that he's doing, the voice that he uses that raises every day to speak out on these injustices. And I pray that the world hears more of people like Marcus. So again, I'm so pleased that he's being honored now, and I send love, I send light, and I'll continue to yes girl across Instagram.
The thing that I love most about Marcus, apart from how positive and funny he is how present he is always. Every interaction, in person, over text, he's just present in a way that not many people are. I love him dearly, and I'm honored to celebrate him. Love you, Marcus.
Hey, Clark Duke here. I actually met Marcus over 10 years ago in the lobby of the Roosevelt Hotel at 2:15 in the morning. And it has been my pleasure in the intervening decades to be his friend and to see all his great success he's had. And today, it's my pleasure to celebrate and congratulate the great work he's doing. So, congrats, buddy.
Hey guys, it's LaDemi. Happy Pride Month. When talking about a legend, I get a little bit choked up, so I wrote down a little bit of something for Ms. Marsha. First and foremost, congrats on honoring someone as special as Marcus Molinari. Marcia is truly the pillar of everything the LGBTQ plus community stands for. I met Marcia when I was 16 before my transition, and although it took many hurdles to gallivant over, Marcia eventually had no choice but to love my crazy ass and take me under her wing. Marcus will never know it, but Marcus taught me how to completely be fearless in public and find my inner pride. Every time I stood with Marcia at events or public gatherings, I just felt like I was standing in this judgmental-free army, or standing with this judgmental-free army. And I still to this day have never really felt like that with anyone else. Only with Marcus, I just feel like magic, purely magic of being able to wear whatever I want, be whoever I want, makeup, hair, anything, just create and just be. And Marcia is just truly magic, and to be in his presence is one thing, but to be a part of his life, watching him pave the way for the community and youth is something I'll always walk side by side on. So with this being said, happy Pride Month, and I love you, and thank you, Forio, for choosing someone as special as Marcia to represent this month and the community and give back.
Hi, very excited to talk about my good friend and close personal family, Marcus Molinari. He has been an iconic example to me since day one. There are some very innate qualities with him that I rarely see in people, where he essentially can give family love to any person that he meets and be anybody's best friend. He's very supportive and adds phenomenal excitement to any innovative ideas, to any background, any culture, and any person. And I know I felt that in my life with him, and feel very grateful and privileged to have him in my life. Despite my background, my culture, my philosophy, or where I'm headed, I know that he supports that, and I feel that love, and know I can tackle the world. And he does that for each and every person. And so I give a big hoorah to Marcus. So proud of him, and have his back no matter what. Love you so much, Marcus.
All right, here we go. How did you first meet Marcus? Share your friendship story.
Well, I first met Marcus backstage at a Kings of Leon concert. Had to stay backstage because Marcus and I only roll backstage. That's what we do. And it's only fitting that that's how we met. We met through a mutual friend and hit it off. And I was launching a restaurant and lounge and had no idea what I was doing, and Marcus was incredible with everything, marketing and concepts, and we really started talking about that, hit it off, and founded H-Wood Group, and really never looked back. And he's family, and I love him.
Okay, name one way Marcus has made an impact on your life.
Marcus has made an impact in every aspect of my life. I would say the one way he has really impacted me is I see the silver lining in life because of him. He has this magical way about him where everything that is happening to him, he finds the positive in it, and it's over the years has really helped me see that and help me be that way, and I commend him for that, and I strive to be more like that every day.
Why did you take this opportunity to celebrate him and his causes? Activist for LGBTQ rights / Black Lives Matter.
I took this opportunity to help support Marcus because he's so passionate about this. He does so much. He does so much under the radar, which I find amazing. And I think it's important that everyone supports him because he's such a voice and such a power. And I think that so many people look to him and listen to him that it's good to really recognize that. And I wanted him to know that I want him and all of his friends are around and supporting him. Love you, Marcus.
Hey, I'm Mike Rosenthal. I first met Marcus probably 12, 13, 15 years ago, maybe. He was with a mutual friend of ours, Johnny Wujek, and we were at a photo shoot and he was helping Johnny out. And I just remember thinking, like, what a cool and interesting guy. And, you know, we became friends, and over the years, I think it was those same qualities that made that first impression that really always drew me to him. And, you know, he has always been somebody to live his truth, and it's something that I've always admired and always respected about him. And I think it's one of the things that really makes him so special and magnetic to other people. He is clearly living as Marcus. Marcus is living as true Marcus, and that's such an amazing and admirable thing to see. And on top of that, he's very kind and he's very loving, and he's just a wonderful person. So that's, you know, the impact that he's made in my life is he's been just a great example to me of somebody who is living their truth, who is kind, who is in Hollywood but still is a wonderful person, and I've always appreciated that about him. And I'm taking the time to appreciate him now because I think, you know, it's easy for people to send a bit of money to a cause. It's easy for somebody to just post something on their Instagram, but when you actually take time and you actually put, you know, your passion and time and your brain power into something, and you actually physically do some work, I think that really speaks volumes. And I think it's really cool that Marcus is so active and is using his platform, using his voice, but is also really dedicating the time. I think that's wonderful. So congrats, Marcus.
Hi, my name is Simha Haddad, and Marcus and I have been friends for probably longer than either of us care to admit, but it's been a very, very long time. He is one of the most important people in my life, and one of the most caring, honest, trustworthy friends that you could ever hope for. When I first met Marcus, my gosh, I don't even remember how it happened. It was one of those friendships that just felt like immediately we were integrated in each other's lives, and it's been that way ever since. But I do remember one standout moment that I'll never forget, and that was when, for no reason, he held my hand and told me, "You are never alone." It was as if he could read what was going on in my life at the time, and he just knew that I needed to hear that, and who doesn't need to hear that? And more than ever, I think that the youth, the LGBTQ youth, needs to hear that as well. You are not alone. You have some amazing role models like Marcus to aspire to, who are surrounded by people who support and love who they are and how they choose to be and represent themselves. Personally, the LGBTQ community has been huge in my life, so inspirational. These are people who have experienced some of the deepest hurt that you can imagine and put the bravest face on and show up for their friends and smile and fight for their right to be glamorous and happy. And I think we can all take something from that. So I love what Foreo is doing, and I love that you're honoring one of my best friends, Marcus Molinari. And so yeah.
Marcus inspires me every day. He is a fiercely loyal friend, an amazing brother, son, co-worker, humanitarian, and activist. Marcus is always true to who he is, no matter where we are or who we're with. What you see is what you get, and he inspires others to be the same. I've never met a person who can light up a room by just walking in. His style is second to none, and he really just is such a joy to be around at all times. I am so lucky to call him family. Marcus, I love you so much. Thank you for always being you. Never change.
Marcus and I met such a long time ago. He was one of the first people I met when I came to Los Angeles, so it's about 10 years ago. And I just remember how we instantly had a connection and just loved, you know, spending time together and hanging out together. And then we became closer and closer throughout the years, and I just loved running into him, and I just loved seeing him and having his energy around. And yeah, over the years we just became super close, and I'm so proud and happy that he is my friend. And I think everyone knows that he has just the best energy surrounding him, and just so much love to give and so much warmth to him. And I'm so incredibly proud of everything he's doing, and I'm proud to be his friend. And Marcus, I love you so much.
He's just so unapologetically himself. I find it really inspiring to see that. Marcus is a true ally. He's an advocate. He uses his voice and his platform to uplift others.
I love him, and I'm so happy to celebrate him for this Pride Month and always. Much love to Marcus and to everybody else out there. Happy